Hi everybody, Dan here. I'm here to show you how I made my box pumpkins. I had a lot of requests yesterday on how I put them together, so I thought I would share with you. Let's see, move this down a little bit so I can. Oh, right. So what I used was these Christmas boxes from last year. And I don't know if they have any out yet this year. They might, but you can use any kind of box. Like they have the pre boxes that are already put together, which are really nice to use. They have the cylinder ones, which would be great. You could just cut it down and make it as many different heights as you want. That would be super cute. And uh, they have stuff like this you could use. Just cut this ribbon off and it would be like this. And the top would, the bottom would be the top. That would work really nice. And it's a lot thinner, so might have to make one of those. So there's a lot of different boxes you can use. Just use your imagination. If it's a box, it'll work. So let's get started making these. The first thing we're going to do is cut off the bottoms. Let me just lower this a little more. Getting used to my new camera. My take two, the first one I had to return. So I can't do 15-minute videos. All right, so leave it folded. And you're going to cut off the bottoms. Don't have one to show you. All right, so we're just going to take our scissors and we're just going to cut it off straight across. I used an X-Acto knife on the ones I made, but I don't have my cutting board handy. So don't throw this away because this will make this size, right? And by not cutting off anymore, just the bottom, just one bottom would make this tall one. This tall pumpkin. You can see here it's same height. Oh, about the same height. I think the boxes aren't always exact. So for this one, you would have to cut off, measure this. The box is, when you only cut one bottom off, the box is 8.5. So this one that I made is 6 inches. So you're going to cut 2.5 additional inches off to get that one. Just not this side, the side that you've already cut. Going to measure up and cut 2.5 inches off. And for this one is, let me see, 4 3/4 is the size of the box. So 4 3/4. So you're going to cut off 1, 2, 3 3/4. Not good at math, so all right. So those are the sizes of boxes. Now, to make the smaller box, which is the one I'm going to make with you, you're going to cut both ends off. So let's go ahead and do that. And don't throw this away because you can use this to support, or you can use it to cut out different shapes and stuff. So get that out of the way. So the next thing you're going to need is your glue gun. Just grab that. Ooh. All right. You can use regular glue, but for this I like to use the glue gun. So you're going to need 2. And the first thing you need to do is glue all your flaps. like all these flaps have to be glued to make it sturdy. So just try to do this without hurting myself. My glue gun doesn't quite reach. Let's see, it might. Oh, there we go. Gonna glue this side. And that should be good. See, it's more sturdy now. And just lower this a little more. Now we're going to do the same to the other piece. Careful not to burn yourself. Side. Just glue that down. Oh, yep, that went right through that. Be careful. And then this one, the ends on the outside needs glued. So we're just going to glue that. And do it to the side too. Glue. Check this one. Oh yeah, that one needs it too. It's not as bad, but you still want to just go ahead and glue it. Ouch. This one. See that? All right. So the next thing to do is you're going to stick them together like so. Like that. And then you're going to glue them together. You could put it like this and have a solid box if you want. I just felt like I didn't need to do that, and then you have to worry about this pushing down, so I didn't even bother with it. So I'm just going to stick some glue on the bottom. I'm going to fit it in there, push it together, and then just give it a good rub. And then we're going to glue the sides. That. Let's push it up. Make sure they're lined up. And then do the other side. Oops. Glue's trailing everywhere. Okay. That's pretty good. All right, so there's our box. Oh, still got glue coming out. That is our box. And that will make this. So, I already have one started. If I can find it. Okay. You're just going to wrap it however you would do wrapping boxes, your wrapping paper, for gift boxes and stuff. Since this one doesn't have a back, I just kind of pushed it in. And then once everything was lined and, kind of creased it really nice, then I went through and I put a little bit of glue on it and pushed it back in. That's all you have to do. This is scrapbook paper. This is wrapping paper. So you can use any kind of paper. I already have one here. So let's get rid of this one. So I have this one. You can see the back is the same thing. And I thought this paper was pretty cool. I needed a fifth one because I don't like even numbers. This is driving me crazy, only having 4. So let's decorate it. For this top, I used, this comes in a big bag from Michaels. These, I think they're in every store. I got it at Joann Fabrics. So you're going to glue those together. Oops. Let me try that again. You're going to glue them together, and then you're going to need a medium sized ball of some sort, or whatever you have, and that'll get glued on. Kind of looks like a chess piece. If you have a chess piece, you could just use that if they're not any good. So let's do that. Let me see if I can find. Nope. Darn, I don't have any. All right. So we're just going to do two because I don't have any out that are not painted, and it's not going to look right when I take the Distress ink on it. All right. So let's hot glue this together. Oops. Just, can you see that? I need to figure out a better angle for my camera and my computer. Just going to set that on there and hold it for a minute while it sets up. I'm looking around to see if I see any unfinished beads, and I do not. That's a bummer. I think I just found one. Hold on. All right, I found one. And that's going to get glued right on top of that. So this is glued. And we're just going to take a little hot glue. It'd probably be more sturdy if you had like a toothpick or something. You could glue down in the bottom of that and glue into the hole on the bead. That's actually a really good idea. I should have done that. All right. That, and this came loose. So I moved it too soon. Add more glue. Try that again. Hopefully that'll dry. Okay, so I'm gonna let that sit for a minute before I move it. Now for the leaves, you can use the ones from Dollar Tree or wherever you shop for your fall decor, and you can paint them if they're not the right color. You can just use acrylic paint. For mine, I have a huge collection of punches and die cuts. So I used, like, these are die cut leaves from the Tim Holtz. I can't remember the name of the leaves, but, and then I used my favorite punch, this one, EK Success. And you can actually make poinsettias out of this too. It's really cool. So there's that. So those are the two things that I used. I used burlap paper, Joann Fabrics, and different construction paper, cardstock paper, book pages, the brown paper from the Dollar Tree. You can use anything. So I used that, and all right, that feels better. Now I'm going to take gathered twig. You can use whatever you have. If you want to use paint, you can water it down if you want it to look stained. So I have this gathered twig, and I'm going to use this. Flip it around, get it nice and juicy. And then you just want to stain it. You're going to take more time than I am and do a nice job. I saw somebody trying to remember who it was. I think it was Four Corners Crafter. She's kind of a seasonal crafter. She used men's dye, hair dye, that just for men, and it turned out gorgeous. I can't remember what she was making, but it was all wood stuff. It was either that or the Daily DIYer. I have to look it up. But I had no idea you could use men's hair dye. And it comes with a brush and everything, so that's cool. All right, so that is done. We got that. That is the top. And we are just going to hot glue that right to here. And I noticed that it's kind of leaning back a little. You could just glue it more forward, but I really wanted it in the center. So I'm going to put something under it. Let's see. I'm going to take a piece of that cardboard that I cut. This is a white one, but it's the center of the box. I'm just going to cut it. Oh, that's way too big. And fold it up a little. Looks pretty good. If I put that under it, it levels it. So I'm going to cut this off. So I didn't need that to be any wide or any thicker. I'm going to take my hot glue gun. I'm going to glue. Get some glue. All right. Just glue it together. Ooh, that's hot. That. A good squeeze. Bring my box back in. I'm going to glue it right here, like that. It's okay if you see that because we're going to cover it. So we're going to glue that on. Now, if you want these to be more permanent, by all means use something like E6000 or, Dollar Tree has a really nice glue that's permanent. And then we're just going to glue our piece that we just made on top of that. Kind of centered. Looks pretty good. There we go. Now it's level. Now you're going to need something to cover this. You can use raffia, anything like even the crinkle paper might work. You'll have to really work on that. A lot of glue. I have this. Dollar Tree does sell it. This came from Michael's. It's a little stiffer. So I'm just picking off some. Ugh, the messy part. Just going to gather a little bit. Get this out of the way. And then I like to just shape it like this. And I like it messy. It just looks more natural. Okay, see I got a little hole there for it to sit over top of like that. So that'll go on. I like these hanging down. This out of the way. I am just going to put a few drops of glue just to hold it in place while we work. Carefully though. You probably don't have to do that. So yeah. All right, that's what we have so far. And now we're going to take our leaves. This one I only used 3 leaves on it and a bow. And this is a button. The other ones I used a lot more leaves. Like this one has a lot of leaves. So let's do more leaves on this one. And just so happen to have a bunch. So I'm gonna figure out what ones I want to use. I definitely want to use, oops, am I off camera? I am, sorry. I like this one, so we'll use that one. Yep, we can use that one. I think I want 2 of those. We could use, no, I don't want to use the brown. Let's use the darker for the back, I think. Yep, that'll work. And, let's see what else we got. Polka dot, no. Have another color of these. So is that all 3 of my colors? Yes. So I'm going to use these to make my top. I'm going to keep these up here somewhere just in case I need more. Maybe not. I'll just grab a handful. Let's stick them here. Okay, so now we're just going to glue the leaves on. I like to take the leaves and fold them because they're really flat. So I like to fold them like this in my hands, just kind of crease it and then do like bendy. Just kind of bend the other leaves and then flatten it back out a little bit. It gives it more of a realistic look. So let's do that to a couple. That. And then just crinkle them up a little. Don't go too crazy. Using the wrong pile. And this one. That. I'm not going to use the print paper or the book pages. That's a little twist. That. A couple more. This is my favorite one because it really goes crazy. All right, and one more. That. Right, and then we're just going to arrange them. For these, I tried to mix up how I put them on. So let's start in the back. And glue those in place. Using a little bit of hot glue. I'm going to take that one out. Which I probably should have done that. Use the bottom of this. I don't want to burn myself. All right, there's our first leaf. And use a different shade on the other side. I'm going to pull this off because it's a little too long. So I'm just going to pop the stem off and flatten the bottom a little so I have something to glue. See, it's kind of L-shaped now. Glue that right here. Take my little stick. Hold that in place for a second. Okay, there's 2. And let's do this guy here. Push that down. And then one more of the maple leaves on the other side. Just a nice glob of hot glue. And that. Oof, might have put too much glue on that one. All right, so let's see what this looks like once we put the bow on. That's what we have so far. Might need more leaves. And just looking for my raffia. I'm not seeing it. Uh-oh. So, what did I do with it? Right. Plan B. We're going to use, this is from the Dollar Tree. I always have this on hand, and if you need just solid, this pulls right off. If you don't want the lacy part, see, you can pull it off. Might have to nip a few, but then you'll have just the solid. But I'm okay with it on there. So we're just going to make a small bow. Fold it like this. I think is good. Squeeze it together. Kind of squish it in the middle. Line it up. And then make sure it's the right size. I like that. It has wire edges, so you can shape it. Or if you want a more rustic look, you can cut this off and shred it a little. Excuse me. So I'm just going to cut that off. And don't have any wire handy. I thought I had this all together. You know, let's just cut a piece of this off and use it for the center. That. Get it. Now we're just going to put it in the middle. I'm okay if it looks a little ruffled. That. And tie it. I don't know if you can see me or not. I guess you could have hot glued it, but it has holes in it, so I didn't want to make a mess on it. If it was a solid, I guess you could do that. Hot glue it. All right, we're just going to leave it like that. So that's our center now. You can add something to it if you want. Let's add, let's see. I see it's coming apart on me, so I'm going to have to glue it. Just a little bit here and a little bit there. Give it a squeeze so it stays together. Carefully squeeze it, don't burn yourself. Right, that's good. So now we're going to glue it onto our pumpkin, right in the middle there. Put some of this down so you can see it because it's really cool looking. I'm going to use a nice generous amount of glue because this is not a very tight bow. And we're just going to glue it. You could also put the bow on first and then put the leaves around, which is probably not a bad idea. You could do that. Hold that for a second. Okay, and now I'm just going to take a button. I just grabbed some from my stash. This is the one I used on the orange one. But let's do, that would be kind of cool. I thought I had a gray one in here, but I don't. All right, let's use this nice big orange one. I'm just gonna put the glue, a lot of glue, and then just plop it right in the middle, like that. It's pretty cute. And I think it needs a few more leaves, so I'm going to pull the bottoms off again because the stems make it too long. Fold it in just a little bit so I have the L shape to add glue. Add some hot glue to the bottom of the hat. And stick one right here. I guess you didn't need to do the L shape if you're putting it right there. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue there. And stick it in there. And maybe one for the back. Let's see. Let's use this later one. So we're going to pinch it or fold it in the middle and pinch it. Pinch, pinch. All right. So I'm going to take this off and kind of nestle it in there. See, I think I just needed that. So, yeah. All right. So we're just going to glue that in place. Kind of hold it there for a second. Ooh, that's hot. Like that. Alrighty, I think we're done. I might try to get this to go down a little further. Not the ribbon I would have used. I really wanted to use the raffia. I might change it. Peel it off. So that's that for now. Yeah, I'm probably going to change that ribbon later. So that is how I made my little box pumpkins. See, this is a different size. They're all, like that's like almost a half an inch shorter, but it came from supposed to be the same size, but you know, it's okay. So, okay guys, the beads, right. I have a video on how I paint my beads and put them together. This is just the punch. I punched like 3 black ones, with black cardstock, and then 2 of the words, the book pages, sorry, and glued them all together using Elaine's Tacky Glue, excuse me, and a little bit of water. And you give it a good shake. And I just add a little bit of water because it's just a little too thick, especially to go through a fine tip nozzle. Use whatever you have, whatever kind of glue you like, and that'll make it nice and hard. And then you punch a hole and put your beads on. And I used the Dollar Tree twine. So, and then these are just wrapped. I just twisted the brown paper and added glue, and then twisted again. And then I took my this gathered twig and rubbed on it. So that's how I got that one. And let me show you this one. Let me push this back up. Sorry. This one, I took a bunch of scrap pieces of the foam board, and I peeled off the paper because I didn't want it to pop on me. So, and I just layered, and I started layering, and then I would add more on one side to get it to make the turn, like this little arch here. And then once I was happy with it, they're not perfect circles. It was really ugly. I wrapped it with this twine that I got from, I want to say Walmart, because it's a little thicker. And that's what I did with that one. And I used my buffalo check, which I love, and just added a few beads at the bottom. So that is how I made my pumpkin boxes, and I hope you guys liked it. If you have more questions, just leave a comment in the questions, and I'll try to answer for you. All right, guys. Thanks. Bye.